Hey everybody, it's Kim. I wanted to show you a project that I'm starting. My nephew's been helping out while I was busy with the grandkids on the weekend. I have this old pop-up camper. I absolutely used to love this little thing. It's extremely lightweight and it would sleep 3 people if you really wanted it to. It's basic. There was nothing in it except a bed, and then 2 little benches with the table that would fold down into a second bed. But I didn't get a chance to show you what it was like beforehand. Let me just say, if you had smell-o-vision, you would be understanding why we ripped it apart. Unfortunately, it was sitting for a couple years and the mice got in there and the smell of urine and mouse, whatever, was absolutely horrendous. So we're stripping this out. This wood stinks something terrible. There were it was a canvas on top and they ate through most of that. And I have these hoops here that you could see that happen to fit perfect in my garden beds. So that'll be part of my greenhouse. So that's going to get another second chance at life. I haven't decided yet. It's going to depend on, once we get everything completely stripped out, whether I'm keeping the frame. I would like to, because it's already wired and things like that. I'm going to be redesigning this. It's going to be a tiny little camper. I want to be able to stand up in most of it. I'm going to have a bed, a very basic bathroom, and then a little bit of a kitchen area. It's just for me anyway, and my dogs, and if I take my birds with me. But I wanted you to see what I'm working with. And this is the stuff that he had to rip out so far. And like I said, the smell is just overwhelming. But it was just a couple little bench seats and the awning, basically, or the canvas that goes on top. So, you know, I wish I could have showed you the damage, but I couldn't even get close to it. You could see some of this, just things I had inside of there. They started eating up the tarp. You could see they were into I had that roll of wire there. I have to check and see if it's even any good. And this is some of the mess they made that this just swept out of the floor. And you could see that was all cushions and canvas and things that they just tore to hell. So anyway, this is my little camper. I wanted to do a little update. You could see I got most of the rest of the bars and that bed off of the trailer here. I did find a couple of areas that I'm going to have an issue with back in these 2 corners here. Have some pretty bad rot here, and that's all the way through over there. I'm not sure about the smell of the mouse pee. I bleached the daylights out of it, rinsed it out, and we'll see. I'm starting to take these tracks off the top. I'm preserving everything I can. I did notice we did have a few carpenter ants in here, so I have to determine if they're inside the wood, if it's wet or not, because my ultimate goal was actually to preserve at least the 2 sides and possibly the front of the trailer, because I just thought it was a really neat nod to the old camper. And the walls are there, saves me some money, because then I only have to go up 4 feet instead of 6 feet. We'll see. But I'm working on taking some of this apart. The back wall is pretty shot. There was an air conditioner in here at one time where that hole is. Even though it was a tent on top, it kept me 10 degrees cooler than outside. And there is really no electrical in here. We put that plug in so I could plug it in and put my air conditioner in there. And like I said, this is just going to be very basic. There's where I'm at right now. Progress has been made. You can see I just about have the trailer stripped down. So far, the side panels I've saved. Now, some of the wood is no good on those, but I do want to keep the aluminum, even if I only take and keep the part from that dark blue stripe down. I want to keep the wheel well areas, because that's something I won't be able to duplicate unless I find something, you know, maybe on Amazon I want to use. But I figured also the aluminum would help protect the bottom of this camper a bit. So that's my thought on that. And my next step is I definitely want those wheel wells. And of course they're bolted from below. So once I get the last 2 panels off the back, I'm going to work on getting those wheel wells off, and then I'm removing the chipboard because it's pretty bad in most corners, and of course the mouthpiece smell. Time to bring out the trusty Sawzall. All right, so I'm going to take these wheel wells off. As you can see, the fenders are off, the wheel wells. Those are really heavy steel. That's why I wanted to save those. The trailer really is not in bad shape at all. And believe it or not, neither are the tires for been sitting so long. I'm going to have them checked out. And I'm going to rewire this thing. I decided I'm not going to try to save the old wiring. It's just not worth it to try to do it later. I'm going to put a new jack stand on the front, or whatever that's called. And other than this corner being very slightly bent, this trailer is in excellent condition. But I have to tell you, well, over here I have another old pop-up camper that didn't have much in it but a couple of beds. I had my mini pig sleeping in there for a while, and then I have another pop-up back there we turned into a mobile chicken coop. My son used to work at a trailer place, so he gave me those 2 trailers. Out of that bigger one, I was able to remove this. And obviously it needs a lot of cleaning. Not sure I want a 3-burner stove. That's a little big. I might sell this and go for a little bit smaller stove, even a portable one I can just put up on the tank. But I have a nice sink here, so I won't have to invest in that. And this kind, I believe, you pump it. So it goes in your tank and you just pump the water, comes out the spout. I think I'm going to replace that with a USB port or rechargeable one just to make it a little easier. And I don't know, that spout's kind of low. But this came out of one of the pop-ups. There is a bottom on it. If I decide to keep it like this, I will. So anyway, like I said, it needs a lot of cleanup. But look at that stove's in excellent condition inside. Yeah, outside it looks like crap because it's been sitting in the barn for 4 or 5 years, but I'm really happy with it. So anyway, headed inside to get something to drink and cool off a bit, and I'll be back shortly. I wanted to show you what I picked up. Look I got a door with the screen and all the hardware. Let me show you the other side. All right, here's the other side of the door. Not bad, and it's a good size for my little camper. It's 26 inches. Sorry, the ducks want to go outside. And I picked up 2 of the hatch doors and 3 windows. The guy he wasn't even had the windows up yet because he hadn't taken them out of he had cut them out with the, Sawzall and hadn't taken the frames off yet. But he made me the best deal. I got everything here. Let's see if I can get back a little further. Everything here for $100. Now, everything I have seen, the doors in my area, at least southeast Michigan, were going for about $150 a piece if they had the screens. Some of them were $100, but they were really, really, really old. So anyway, I'm really excited with my little find. Did have to drive a ways. It was a 3-hour round trip, but it was so worth it. The top part of the trailer, my supervisor's been watching me make sure I do a good job. Wire brushed really well. So I'm going to flip this over, do the bottom side, and then I think I'm going to cover it with the truck bed liner so I never have to worry about rust. I did leave the wiring harness for now because I'm hoping I can pull the wire, I don't know what it's called. We use them to pull wires through walls. Anyway, so wire tape. I have to go figure out where my brother put it. And that way, after I'm done, I could pull the wires a little easier. At least that's what my hope is. Or, because I'll paint around them for now, and then I can just pull a wire through or pull something through so I can pull the wires easier. But this is where I'm at. I'm going to flip it over. I have to tell my supervisor here to go take a break. And then I'm going to finish up the bottom. Well, I'm going to finish up the underside of this, and then we'll be back.